Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are all doing really well. Now for today's video, I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to show you guys what camera equipment I use to film my vlogs, what I use to edit, all the equipment that I have to sort of get a video up and running. So I know a lot of you guys have asked me a lot of questions on this, so I thought why not just make a video on it and explain everything and show you guys everything that I actually have and I use to make YouTube videos. But before we begin, if you haven't already, then please do subscribe to my channel down below, and let's just get started on this video. Okay, so the first thing that I like to mention is obviously the camera that I'm using. So I'm obviously filming on this camera now, so I won't be able to show you, but I'll insert some B-roll footage in here for you guys to see, what it looks like. Basically, the camera that I use is a Canon EOS M50. I think it's a very good basic vlogging camera. It is a little bit bigger than the normal Canon GX7, those vlogging cameras, the little rectangular ones. I'll also insert a photo of what I'm talking about here. So this is obviously a little bit bigger. The viewfinder sort of pops out onto the side, so it can be a little bit difficult to see, if I'm looking at the viewfinder it's there, but if I look into the lens it's there, so it's quite obvious, where I'm looking. I feel like it's a good sort of camera that you can just sit on a tripod and just shoot your YouTube videos on. The quality is obviously really good and the sound quality I think is amazing. I bought this camera obviously because I wanted to start off, creating YouTube videos, and I thought it was just a very easy basic option and I didn't want to go for anything like too big. So this is the camera that I started off with and I haven't had any issues whatsoever. So yeah, I absolutely love this camera, and it came in a kit. So this camera had obviously the camera itself, it also had the kit lens with it as well. And then what I did purchase obviously was the lens that I'm currently using. That's the 22mm lens. I feel like it's just a little bit more sharper, the colors are a little bit more better, and it sort of blurs out the background a little bit for me, which I like, so that I'm sort of the focus. I'll show you guys the box of the lens that I did purchase. So that's the box, that's the lens. It's a bit of a pancake lens. The one that came in the kit is this one. It's the 15 to 45mm lens, which is already part of the Canon EOS M50 kit when you buy it. So this one I think is good for vlogging because it shows more of the background and you can hold the camera sort of at an arm's length and doesn't make you look too close up, whereas this one that I've got on is a little bit more close up, but I feel like the quality of this one is a little bit more sharper. And obviously in the kit, obviously you receive the charger. This is the battery charger. You receive one of this and you only receive one battery as part of the kit. So what I definitely recommend is purchasing multiple sort of batteries, because in case you run out, then it's obviously good to have backup. And I would say the battery for me lasts at least, if you're continuously running it, I would say max 2 hours it runs. It's not the best, but if you've got a backup then it's okay, which I have purchased backups for, including the one that I've got there. I've got another battery, so I've only got two, but I think it works fine for me because I'm not always shooting anyway, and if I am shooting then I keep one always charged up. And you can search for these batteries online, Amazon, eBay. I'll include all the details of all the products that I have mentioned in the description box below. But yeah, that's everything in terms of the camera that I use. Now when I did purchase the camera, I also did purchase a sort of additional microphone as well to sit on top of the camera. It does have a microphone port which you can use for an external microphone, but I stopped using that after a while because I feel like the audio quality already on the camera itself was quite good and I don't have too much of noise in my room anyway, so I don't really think I needed it. But it's still good to have for when you're out and about. Perhaps it can block out a lot of the background noise. So the microphone that I have is the Rode microphone. So this is the Video Mic Pro. This is quite good. So it's got the clip on and you just clip it into the camera on the side, and if you were more taking vlogs out and about, then it might be good to get sort of an external microphone, but I haven't actually been using this much, so you may not need it. Okay, and then when you do purchase the camera, it doesn't actually come with any memory cards, so you do need to purchase some memory cards before you can start capturing your footage. So I went online and I purchased some Canon compatible SD cards. So I picked up 4. So I picked up two 32GB SanDisk memory cards and 2 64GB memory cards, which I feel like works fine for me. If I had the choice, I would probably purchase all of them to be 64 or if not more, but this is just what I bought and it was just easy for me, and yeah, I've had no issues whatsoever with it. Every time I do shoot a video, I transfer the footage to my laptop immediately and save it onto a hard drive. I don't delete the footage until the time where I'm shooting another video. So once I've created the one that I've already used that for, I'll go in and delete the footage and then I'll start shooting for another video on the camera. So yeah, that's how that works for me. And then moving on to the tripods that I use. Now these are the handheld tripods that I'm talking about actually. So I don't really use these too often. I sometimes just have the camera and I just hold it there. But what I did originally purchase was this sort of dupe for the GorillaPod. I mean, it was good. I did like it, but I feel like it was a bit too long, and then because it was too long, the camera would just sit here. It would just be a bit heavy for me, and I didn't really like it because I felt like the camera was just shaking and it wasn't sort of stabilized because of how long this was. And to be honest guys, the camera that I am shooting on, the Canon EOS M50, isn't actually the most lightest camera. I mean, obviously it's definitely lighter than your DSLR cameras or whatnot, but if you are vlogging, your arm can get tired. It is a little bit heavy. I know I get tired holding it as well. So yeah, this is the first tripod that I did buy, the handheld tripod, but wasn't too much of a fan because of how long it was and it was a bit flimsy. So I went in and I purchased a smaller tripod. So this is obviously another little handheld tripod, and because it's so small, I feel like the camera just sits here and it's not too wobbly and it's quite sturdy, so this works well for me. I do obviously carry this around when I am out and about and I am vlogging. So yeah, that's the handheld tripod that I use. So what I use to edit my films, so I obviously have this laptop. Oh my god, it's so heavy. I've got the Apple Macbook Pro. This is a 2018 model. It doesn't have the USB ports on the side. So what I do for that is I have this connector which I use. So this connects obviously into the laptop, and then I connected my hard drive, which is just here. As you can see, I've got the memory card in there which goes into the computer, and I save all of my files of all of the footage that I've got onto my hard drive. That's how I go about sort of saving my footage. And I also wanted to mention the editing software that I use. I use Final Cut Pro. When it comes down to editing, a lot of you guys ask me how long it takes to edit my videos. So essentially what I tried to do is try to film a video on the weekend, for example a Saturday, and that video that I film on a Saturday will be the video that I post the following week. So it gives me about the whole week. When I come back from work, I can sit down, I can edit a video for a few hours a day, and that sort of keeps me going. Times where I don't film a video on the weekend, I'm obviously behind schedule. I try to make it an effort to always shoot some sort of content on the weekend, so I have that as a running sort of task to do for the week, and then that video gets posted the following week on a Sunday. I would say it takes me about 5 to 6 hours to edit a video, but that obviously depends on the content itself. If it's like a travel vlog, that obviously takes me a longer time because I've got so much footage to work with. And yeah, in case you guys are wondering how I learned how to use Final Cut Pro, because I had no experience whatsoever, I basically just googled it. None of my friends knew how to use it as well. I just watched YouTube tutorials. I already know how to do the basics, but I feel like I don't really require anything further than that for my channel anyway. So yeah, that's how I essentially started and how I learned. I'll quickly show you guys what my setup looks like here. Obviously I'm gonna have to take out my phone because I want to leave the camera there to show you exactly what it looks like. So when I'm filming my videos, this is what I see. So obviously I've got my ring light here, so I've got a little bit of a tripod here, and this is the camera obviously sitting there, and that all looks like that. So yeah, that's the ring light. It's on the low setting at the moment, and this is basically what I see. So, and I also get a lot of questions around the lighting, and how do you know where you should position yourself, and how do you make sure the room is well lit. So what I basically do is I try to sit near a window. So I've got a window literally right there, but I obviously can't face towards the window because I've got a lot of things on the side there as well, and obviously my bed is here. I don't have much space to put the tripod there, but obviously the light is on this side of my face. But then to sort of balance it out, I've got my ring light here, which sort of illuminates my entire face and the background as well. I've turned on my room lights as well when I do film, so that definitely helps me out a lot. And I think it also just helps when you've got like a white space, a white background, that sort of allows more light to sort of bounce off, and it just creates a little bit of a more sharper, you know, whiter, crisp look, which is what I love. And you guys would have noticed I tend to wear more white tops in videos because I feel like it just, first of all, it makes me look a little bit tanned, and it also just helps to brighten up everything around this area so that, you know, it just, I feel like it just looks a bit more attractive to the eye, because I want my audience to watch my videos and I want it to have sort of an aesthetic feel to it as well. So I definitely do keep those things in mind as well. I think that's everything that I wanted to mention in this video. If you guys do have any other questions around, you know, what camera equipment I use or any other questions along those lines, then definitely leave a comment down below. I'll be happy to answer that for you. But other than that, that's the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed that and found that informative. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel down below, and I shall see you guys in my next video. Thanks guys.